months of World War II, the German pocket battleship Graf Spee was hunting merchant shipping in the South Atlantic and cutting off important supplies to Britain. 3 Royal Navy warships were sent to engage the Graf Spee, the Exeter, the Ajax, and from the New Zealand division, the Kiwi crewed Achilles. This is Rio de la Plata, the River Plate, in this massive estuary that separates Argentina from Uruguay. And it was in the waters beyond here that these 3 cruisers took on the pride of the German Navy in one of the most famous maritime battles of the Second World War. The smaller cruisers were heavily outgunned, but using harrying tactics like terriers taking on a Rottweiler, the Exeter sustained heavy damage and was put out of action. But bravely fighting on, the Achilles and Ajax landed enough blows to force the Graf Spee to run for port in Montevideo for repairs. Uruguay was neutral and, prompted by the British, forced the Graf Spee to leave, back out towards the Atlantic, where Langsdorff had been convinced, again by British propaganda, that half the British Navy was now lying in wait. In fact, it was still just the Achilles and Ajax, but rather than risk the lives of his crew, Langsdorff took Graf Spee out into the Plata and scuttled her, sending the mighty battleship to the bottom of the sea. Langsdorff then brought his crew to Buenos Aires. He had saved them, but the sinking of the Graf Spee had enraged the Führer, and rather than face an enraged Hitler, he decided to take his own life, which he did in this residence here in Buenos Aires. And nowadays, he's buried right here in the Argentine capital. Meanwhile, the Achilles and her crew returned home to a triumphant reception. Crowds lining the streets to proclaim New Zealand's first great success story of the Second World War.